I remember before I had kids, people would tell me, uh, they would say to me, once you have kids, you'll know. And I always felt like it was very condescending to say that. I also got it a lot when I was a student, where they would say, once you're in practice, you'll know. And again, it would rub me the wrong way. Like I can only be where my feet are. I can't catapult myself forward. When I got sober, when I was 19, the women we were taught in early sobriety as a teenager, find the women who have what you want and emulate what they do. And also get under the wings of somebody who absolutely embodies who you want to be in the world and do whatever they tell you to do. And I wanted to get sobriety and live a life free of addiction more than I wanted anything. I had never wanted something so bad in my life, and it was absolutely divinely inspired. And I picked a woman to mentor me. Her name was Cynthia. Godspeed, Cynthia. I'm not sure where she is at this time. Very serious attorney, did not mess around. I would never describe her as gentle or spiritual, or she was tough. She was accurate. She was punctual. She was a little bit mean. Um, and I did whatever she told me to do. If she told me to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, I would have done it. But she told me things like, make your bed every day. Every day, after you've made your bed, get on your knees and thank God for another day, whether or not you believe that anybody's listening to you. And I'd be like, but I don't want to get on my knees. I'm not subservient. Like I had all of these stories and all these intentions. And she still said, you're still going to do it. You're going to do it because you believe that I believe that it's going to create change. And then she would say, go say sorry to the people that you've hurt. And I'd say, well, I don't want to say sorry to them. It's going to hurt me even more to say sorry to them. And she said, you have to believe that I believe that this is going to work for you. And I did all of the things because I wanted it more than I didn't, right? I was willing to go to any lengths. When I was new in, and this was 30 some odd years ago, and I still have that hunger, thank God. When it comes to my practice, people would say things to me. It's so interesting because I'm about to go to my alma mater. I'm about to go to Sherman for Lyceum, and I have only been there once in the past 25 years, and it's bringing up all kinds of stuff for me, right? Like I'm going to be where I spent 8 years of my life, and I don't go back there, and I'm going back there to just be there and be present and be with my people, my tribe. And they would say to me while I was a student, you're just going to know what the next right thing to do is. And I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. And they would also say, it's going to take 5 years to trust these guys, my hands. It's going to take 5 years to know what you're doing. And then you're going to feel like you don't know anything. And again, I would be like, well, maybe that's not going to be true for me because I have all these life experiences. And, I've been working since I was 12 years old and all this stuff. And everything they said was right. And everything that Cynthia said was right. All of it was right. Um, there's an inner voice that happens. I learned about it when I became a mom. And sometimes I choose to not listen to it. And I want to talk about what happens when that happens. But I know that I know that I know when I hear it. Sometimes I really don't want to hear it because I really want my will to be imposed on the situation. But every single time that I listen to it, it's for my highest good. And every single time that I don't listen to it, I hurt physically, emotionally, financially. Somebody I love hurts. And sometimes, and this is the hardest part, I can't hear it. So I want to talk about what it feels like or what it sounds like. And then I want to talk about what happens when I listen to it and what happens when I don't listen to it and what happens when I can't hear it. Um, I love the analogy, if you're a parent, of when you would stand in front of the bus stop and wait for the bus to come around. And whether it was from a school trip or the end of the day, first day at school, whatever. And you could look at your kid when they were getting off the bus and know it was the moment that the chocolate chip cookies needed to be whipped out because it's been a rough day, or you're going to have a great afternoon, right? You know, just by looking. If you're a mama, if you're a dad, you know what I'm talking about. It's the same feeling if you are in love, the moment you recognize that that was your person. It's just a knowing. Or if you are an animal person, the moment you met your animal. Where do you feel that? Everybody's expression of this knowing is different. In mine, I get a hot flash. Ugh, I'm getting it right now, right? I get a hot flash. I feel heat. I start to sweat a little bit. I feel like a roller coaster drop in my stomach. It happened when I met my husband. I hadn't even met him yet. I saw him and it happened. I didn't know that that was what was happening though. It happens every time I see my kids. Like I just know that I know that I know. I know more than anything, right? And there are all these consequences of the receiver of that knowing too. Like if someone comes, let's give the this to my practice members. If someone comes to my office and they've never really been seen, they've lived a whole life, whether they're 3 years old or 33 years old, of people looking right past them. And they come to my office and I'm right here with them, especially when my hands get involved. They know that they know that they know, and I know that they know that they know. It's just a knowing. Babies all know. They just know. If I pick a baby up and that baby starts to scream, everything's coming forward for that baby. I know it's not about me, but I didn't know it wasn't about me for a long time. So that's the intuitive sense. And some people feel it in their bodies. Some people may get a taste in their mouth. True story, that happens. Some people may see like butterflies or threes or coincidences. I always say to people, I show up in threes. Like I'll run into somebody 3 times over. And then I actually, at this point, I know it so well that I warn them. I say, well, I come in threes, so you'll see me 2 more times. And they think I'm crazy, and that's okay. So that's the feeling. And my offer to you is to identify the last time you knew you had this feeling and name it. Where was it in your body? What was your symptom? Um, what did you see? What did you feel? Did you cry? Did you get hungry? Did you get tired? Did you get weepy? Whatever. What is it? And it's different for everybody. Um, so that's the intuition that I'm talking about. And if I can identify it and put my finger on it and connect with it, I can use that knowing with every decision I make, whether it's a decision about growing my team or my practice or even the decision about this share. I decided not to write anything down. I decided to let spirit talk through me. And if that rubs you the wrong way, I'm sorry. Just put it in your own language. Whatever works for you is fine with me. Because that's what felt right. And then sometimes what happens is I can't hear it. And that's when I get really scared. If there's a situation usually it's with a person, and I can't hear it, I have to gracefully remove myself from the situation and give it a pause. And I've learned that there's nothing wrong with doing that. I've learned that there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm really not sure right now. I'm just going to put this on pause. I have a situation in my life right now where somebody has usually it's with people, it's never with animals, right? You either know or you don't. but usually it's with people. And I have a situation with a person where they came in my life as like a butterfly storm, really beautiful storm, and shook things up. And I couldn't quite feel my bearings with this person in my world and understand what I was feeling or identify the magnitude of this person's effect on my life and on my story. And now that it's been some time, I'm seeing patterns emerge. I've given it space and I've given it time. And all of these situations keep coming up around this person that gives me more space and more time. And I'm seeing and I'm seeing and I'm seeing. And I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. That's not what I want to see, but I'm seeing it. So if if I can give you permission, if you need it, to see what you see, I see it loud and clear, right? Whether it's a business partner or a hire or the next practice. And if you don't see it, there are certainly tools that we have, like the decisions tool, that can help things come to the surface. There are very few people who have come across my path, especially in the staffless practice experience, who don't have much of an impact on me. There are very few people who I forget who they are. Most of them, most of you guys, like it's a wow when I've first experienced you, or I get the grace of working with you and helping you move your practice forward in ways that you want, right? And I know that I know that I know that this is not about me. This is not about you, even. This is about the people in the community you serve and the lives that they then go touch. It's about making the world better, one praxis at a time, one adjustment at a time, one treatment at a time, and about setting the stage so that we can do that without being in the way. You know, if there are things or subluxations in the way of me being able to stay connected while I'm with you right now, or um, my hands are on somebody, or I'm doing a telehealth session. If there are things that are interfering, I need a way to release those things or stop those patterns. And that's what we do here. That's what our job is, to be subluxation removers for obstacles for practitioners to serve better at a higher vibration, more clear, more connection, more intuitive. If if you can and if I can um, get really, really connected to what it feels like to get a yes and what it feels like to get a no, I can use that knowing with every decision that I make. So the yes feels like I can breathe. In my experience, it makes me feel like I can you know, the feeling of watching a baby settle down for a nap and they nestle in and then they just fall asleep. It's like they can just sink in and ease into it. That's what a yes feels like to me. Like I just found my comfort place and now I can just close my eyes and breathe. That's a yes. A no feels like back pain. Um, I feel it right now as I'm talking about it. My levators, if you know the musculoskeletal system, they start to seize up. I feel it behind my eyes, attention behind my eyes. I feel fat, right? Not a feeling, but I feel fat. Um, I get all of these signals, and it's so interesting because we have these practices that are about serving people, and people may think that they come to us for their symptoms, and these symptoms could very possibly be their signals. And then if we have a practice that fixes pain, that is therapy oriented and fixes pain, if we can approach that from the place that this may be a really important signal, are we acknowledging that? I feel like that's my job. I feel like that's a big part of it. So when it comes to growing my practice, If I decided to wake up this morning and really get and work on my marketing plan and get the pens and the paper out and do the thing, and everything in me started to hurt and my head started to hurt and my scalp seized up, I could stop at this point and ask myself, is this the right time for me to be growing my practice? And if it's a financial thing, like if where you go is, well, I have to grow my practice, I need money, then the next question is, how can I get creative about being a magnet for financial abundance? It doesn't have to be my practice. It can be, and that can absolutely spark joy for us, but it doesn't have to be. We can do the same thing with our wise counsel, the people who we ask to help us be better people. Here's the thing, you guys, we're all broken. We're all perfectly broken. And the cracks where the brokenness is where the light shines through. There's so many, I don't remember who, Marianne Williamson, I think says that. That's where we are perfect. That's where our perfection is that's where the rhythm and the music of each one of us is where our cracks are. All of us are broken. All of us have stories. And if I can make my weaknesses my strengths by trusting my gut on every single freaking decision, I win. Let's talk about if I can't hear it. I spent yesterday just crying. I cried all day. And I wasn't sad. I just felt like I needed to stop and I needed to unwind. I have a new person in my life, and she's serving as a nutrition coach for me. And she basically said to me, um, you need to undo because I do so much. And she said, you need to stop doing, you need to undo. And boy, oh boy, is that a challenge for me. And when I give myself permission to undo and to stop, I have all of these emotions, which is just energy in motion. And yesterday it came through in cries. And today I felt very calm and still and clear. And tomorrow maybe I'll feel a little silly, right? Um, to give myself permission to just cry and to not make it a story, to not make it about anything, to just feel sad and to feel to have the blues and to get really into it and to lie in bed and ask my partner in life to just hold me and let me cry. Do you know how clear I feel today? Do you know how good I feel right now? Yesterday sucked. It didn't feel good. Today I feel you could ask me anything and I know that my answer is going to be connected. I also know that if I don't know, I'm going to tell you that I don't know. And it wasn't pretty. There was snot. There were a lot of tissues. So this heart share is really with intention of offering the possibility of giving the hard thing space. Another tool that I've used is, if you can't hear the truth, ask yourself the question at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like if you wake up to go to the bathroom or you wake up and toss and turn, ask yourself the question right then and there, because you haven't had time yet to make a story about it. Ask yourself the question and just get a yes or a no. Make it a yes or no question. When we have a new client that knocks on our door for staffless practice offerings, what I say to them after like a 15-minute discovery call where they tell me all about it, I listen, I ask questions, I say, yes, I think I can help you, or no, I don't, but here's a coach who would be a better fit for you. The next thing I say is go live your life. And when you get a yes, whether it's in 5 minutes or 5 weeks or 5 months or 5 years, come back to me. And as long as I have the bandwidth, my offer is still on the table. And then we'll do a deep dive. If you don't get a yes, you're going to do a little bit and you're going to fight yourself the whole way through. So when was the last time you had a yes really clearly? When was the last time you had a no and didn't listen to it, right? I think that Dr. Marcy's on the call too. Part of our jobs as your coach is to ask the right questions to bring your yes and no forward. I don't know what's good for you, Diana or Brooke. I don't know what's good for myself. I know what questions to ask though. And sometimes I just need to, you guys, I have it, just ask questions, right? It's right here. And I keep it here because sometimes I have a story that I think is more important than your question. The best thing I can do as your chiropractor, as your coach, as your friend, is to ask you the questions that will bring your truths forward because they're all in there. Thanks for listening, you guys. Go make the world better with great care. I'm going to stop the stream.